Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a Let's Talk. This is a STProductions video, and today, the Let's Talk video subject of today, on our second round of trying to attempt to do this, is what went wrong with Vanguard, or where did Vanguard go wrong? Cardfight Vanguard, that is. I'm with my friend, friend of Storm King, and of course, I am Storm King, otherwise known as SK. So, at the date of recording of this, this is February 25th, 2018, in which it is 2 days after the release of GBT14 Divine Dragon Apocrypha in the OCG, the Japanese version of Cardfight Vanguard. And you've seen a lot of cards, and you've seen like the ultimate strategy, you've seen Geese. What is the one word or two syllables or whatever that you can describe the current format of the cards?
Broken.
Okay, there we go. So now we're just here to discuss just the overall what went wrong. Now I don't say this in terms of Vanguard is a terrible thing or it's a terrible game or whatever. No. I'm just saying this in regards to my opinion, and of course, just to say it as what I think is the current state of the game. I say what went wrong, but I gave it a clickbait name just to be like, okay, here's what I think of the current format right now, and where did it go. So let's get started, shall we? Let's roast Divine Dragon Apocrypha. How appropriate after we watched Fate. Was it Fate Stay Night? No,
Fate Apocrypha.
No, man. Fate Apocrypha.
If Fate was filmed by Michael Bay.
Yeah, right.
Yoda ear rape.
Yeah, right. And then of course I will make sure to add a link here or whatever so that you can go straight to the summary of the points. But again, note that again, this is just my opinion, my personal opinion. You don't have to listen to my opinion. You don't have to agree to my opinion. So don't hate on me for it. That's just my opinion. And you can go skip straight to the summary right about here. Yeah, right about there. So first things first, in regards to what went wrong with Vanguard. And I'm like sitting on a really squeaky chair. The gameplay. Let's start with the gameplay. So, first point. Gameplay. Like, right here?
Gameplay.
Yeah. Everything has too much consistency. Like, way too much consistency. I mean, so with G format, G regulation, everything, Bushiroad's just like, we're gonna let everything, every deck that does its thing do it better. So, Royal Paladins, call out more for less of a cost. Bermuda Triangle, bounce more for less of a cost. Kageros, retire everything without cost. Sometimes, but it's mostly there is a cost. I feel like Counterblast 1. There's less luck to deal with now. There's because of this increased consistency of the what I like to call the Royal Paladin ping pong, the Bermuda bounce, the Bermuda bounce. There's a higher amount of consistency, therefore there's a decreased amount of luck to deal with, and there's a hell of a lot of deck thinning, like tons of deck thinning.
But deck thinning is deck winning.
Well, of course, I taught you guys that. I taught you deck thinning is deck winning. You have the Stride Fodder, which thins out your deck. You have Chronodran. I like calling him Chronodoran because of the Japanese way. And like he's just like, oh, bind him. Call it something else. Put him in the soul. Bring out a Chronojet Dragon. Damn it! and they add Zinstri to your hand, right? It's like, what do I do? So it's because of this whole consistency that when we first started, Vanguard was just very much so luck based. Well, it wasn't super luck based. Well, actually, no, there was a high amount of luck. It was very luck based. It wasn't like Yu-Gi-Oh! Sacky. Well, no, it did get pretty sacky, but it wasn't as. It was very much more luck based.
I'm still sacky.
Yeah, but like it wasn't that bad. Like and then they gave this consistency, and then they gave us consistency, and now you had consistency. No, you had sack with consistency to be like, oh man, I grabbed all the key cards I want without digging out a single trigger. Oh, guess what? I ripped 3 triggers. Right? So then you have all that deck thinning and less luck to deal with. Then you have consistent decks which build up so much advantage. You have Gear Chronicle, which just like thins out, just like I bounce everything around. You have the Royal Paladin Ping Pong. You have Luard. Luard's just like retire one, bring out 2 grade 1s, and they're constantly deck thinning, or even if they shuffle back the ones back to the bottom of their deck, it's at the bottom of the deck. And then they still have the triggers somewhere in between in the middle, right?
Yeah.
And you can basically guard everything. Like, people are just like, I attack with 2 crits and a grade 1 lock. G-guard.
It's not even a big threat anymore.
Just G-guard. Okay, done. Guard. And because of this whole consistency, games tend to lead into a deck out match. Like, with my Brave deck versus your Bermuda deck, if it gets to that point, you deck me out. Because I burn out fast.
Yeah.
My deck versus our buddies, Blasters, if he gets the roll on me, I can't beat him. Because he has Blasters. And Blasters is too super consistent. So next point on gameplay is card advantage means nothing. When was the last time you heard a Oracle Think Tank top?
Like 0.
Yeah! Because, hey, when did having 18 cards in hand do anything?
Like 0?
Yes! Exactly. Even if you have, like, if you're playing Messiah, okay, I'm not gonna talk about Chaos. Messiah, Oracle Think Tank. Even if you have those decks which have, like, 17 cards in your hand, allows you to draw so much, it does nothing. Because you have the new Gallop that's just like, can you guard for 80,000?
Nope.
Twice? Can you guard a 0 lock or a 1 lock?
Nope.
Can you guard 2 attacks?
Nope.
Yeah, I thought as much. Oh, by the way, remember when I told you about the 0th Dragon Stark? He attacks once but drive 1, but it's like base 30, like it's base 26 plus the Vanguard, so that's 37.
Oh my god.
Yeah. 37, 1, 2, 3. With a possibility of a trigger.
Can we go back to like the old era? 27?
27. Oh my god. And then you have next point is unbalanced skills. So you have G guards that retire, G guards that lock the entire back row, G guards that hetero dragon. Oh, you're attacking me with a high number? No, I'm gonna bounce you. Rip another one. Rip the trigger. Oh no. Or time leap. Would you consider free striding balanced or unbalanced?
Is it like what Tura has? That one? That free stride?
I'm talking like Tura's condition is a lot harder. So in terms of free strike conditions, Tura is you need to have 0 or 1 on the field. Luard is send 2 grade 1s back to the deck. Well, actually no. And then you have the new Luard, which is Ritual Cross, which is you have to counterblast. You have to counterblast 4 to do a free stride, or -1 for every grade 1 that you have in your drop zone.
In that case, I think it's pretty balanced.
Okay.
Because there's conditions that you have to meet, and you have to work for it.
Well, what about the new Chronojet Dragon Zed?
Okay, then that's fucking stupid.
Okay, yeah. So like, okay. I'm not saying that free striding is broken, but like Chronojet Dragon is just like, so that 3 you ditched for the stride. Next turn he can free stride by binding that grade 3 from the drop zone.
Now that's just easy.
Yeah. And then he has so many, and then the new support is just like he has like other grade 3 cards. He has like this card in deck or in drop zone is a 3. Bind it, free stride. So there's a bunch of unbalanced skills. What else would you say is a little bit unbalanced? I think the like, I wouldn't say the Royal Paladin Ping Pong is a little bit unbalanced, but it's kind of like, well, if you can't, no, actually guard restrictions used to be unbalanced, but now like everyone has a guard restriction and everyone can guard for it, kind of in a way. It's okay. The Royal Paladin Ping Pong is a little bit of a dick move. Or at least, Wes is just like, I cause him to have an aneurysm each time I play against him with that deck. I don't know. Can you think of anything else that has unbalanced skills? Like I can't say it right now off the top of my head, but like there's some skills overall. Like Time Leap is pretty bad. Like just jump around and just grab things, right? The Royal Paladin Ping Pong, it requires a cost, and it's really based on their counterblasts, really.
How Hard to say. I've been out of the game for a while, so.
Yeah, I guess you talked about how G guards are a little bit unbalanced, G guards that affect your opponent.
Yeah.
That's kind of like if you're attacking and your opponent G guards and it burns you or it locks you, that's unfair. But like if I was to say defend hold, the brave G guard, which is like you drop the heal and then if you're in brave, it becomes a perfect guard.
Yeah.
You're okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because it's not affecting your field. It's just like I'm just only dealing with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that kind of unbalance, which is a little bit unfair. With the way that the current format of the game is now, it's a little bit, how should I say, clans and builds are losing their identity and they're losing their identity. You know, it's kind of like everything can rush now. Everything can rush. You know, you think Tirua can't rush? Tirua can rush. You can rush.
I just don't do it.
You just don't do it because it's not fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that it's not fun. It's just, it doesn't give you as much payback for it.
Yeah.
Royal Paladins used to be I call out one and then I go. Now it's just like I call out everybody. I call out the entire. I call it the cribs. No, that's what happens. Wes says Wes is just like, what is happening here? You call out the cribs and like, I mean, I am playing blue. So I guess I am calling the cribs. It's like I just call it. It's like and as Wes says, it's just like I'm getting curb stomped by the cribs.
You in my hood now.
You in my hood now, right? You know, you had 7 Seas, Battle Sisters, and originally it was only Spike Brothers that rushed. Only Spike Brothers that rushed, and then eventually it's just like, oh, I guess Nova Grappler can rush a little bit.
What about Aquaforce back then? They could kind of rush.
Oh man, they were. See, they're rushed, but it's mostly because like they had to build up their wave, right? They had like small attack, moderate attack, big attack, maybe one last attack if I'm able to rip a draw trigger, stand trigger or something like that. They're basically a rush deck. They're a rush, but they're also set up. So that's why I don't consider them too much of a rush. I consider them set up. And then another losing of their identity is kind of like with let's go to Narukami and Kagero. Kagero used to be the only clan that retired stuff. Then Narukami is just like no, we don't retire, we bind. We bind, but no, basically it's retire and bind. And actually Narukami got like their plays, like because they had the whole Thunderstrike effect skill, they had a better payout for retiring. Oh, like a hell of a better payout versus what was it, Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your opponent has less rear guards than you. Okay, that's a little bit hard to reach sometimes. But like Narukami, Thunderstrike 2. Or like the one,
What that one card where like it just gains power off like how many binded units there is?
Yeah, and you have like 34 cards bound, and it's just like deal with 2 times. Was it 2 times or 3 times 34 power on everything? Enjoy.
I don't want to deal with that.
Exactly. And coming back to the ping pong, remember how like Royal Paladin used to only have the ping pong?
Yeah.
And then Gear Chronicle then had a ping pong.
Yeah.
And then, actually. You know who used to be the first ping pong? Pale Moon. Alice used to be the ping pong.
That's so long ago.
I know. And then last up when it comes to gameplay is the lack of balance, counter matches, and plays. So when it comes to Vanguard, there are certain decks that do not have a true counter. They don't have like a true counter. Other than the mechanics, which kind of counters the entire game mechanic. I'm not talking about Link Joker today. I'll leave that for later because I hate Link Joker. Well, I have a reason to hate Link Joker. But like Gear Chronicle doesn't have a true counter matchup. I mean, yeah, you retire them. Everyone else gets retired. Yeah, you lock them. Everyone else can be locked. But there's no true counter to Gear Chronicle. They're like, send back to deck.
Or I'm a time leap.
I'm a time leap, or do something like that. Link Joker does not have a true counter unless it's Link Joker. So, Chaos versus Messiah. You lock me, I unlock myself. Screw you. You don't lock me, I lock me! And you!
You're done for.
You're done for. So, there's no true counter matchup. Like, Kagero is a counter to all setup-based clans.
Mm-hmm.
Aqua Force hates Kagero. Well, unless it's their, Aqua Force was the first clan to get resist. They got the resist first because it's like, we can't do our plays without resist. And then we're just like, but if you do that, then what are we supposed to do? Skill-based clans can easily recover, or sorry, not skill-based. Well, skill-based and top-tier clans can easily recover from losing everything. Like Gear Chronicle, if they lose everything, even if they play just like Steam Breath Dragon or whatever, or their new, or whatever Draco Kid, their new Stride Fodder card, even if that's their only card that they can play, okay, Stride, play that one extra card, Time Leap, turns into the ping pong or whatever. You Oracle Think Tank, Aqua Force, if you destroy their field, they are screwed. They're absolutely screwed. They cannot recover. Setup-based clans cannot recover once they've lost everything. Again, when was the last time you heard an Oracle Think Tank top?
Like 0.
Right. When was the last time you've seen an Oracle Think Tank win?
0.
Right.
Wait. Battle Sisters.
Yeah, but like that's Battle Sisters. That's not like Susanoo or Tsukuyomi or Amaterasu. Like, remember how like Bushiroad tried to be like, no guys, Susanoo was good, and then Battle Sisters came along and was like, nah, we give up, we give up, and then Victor aggro. Favorite champ Victor, stand a unit, flip a G unit, +5 to Victor in this. Attack, stand another unit, flip a second G unit. Now, 2 units get 10,000, so you now get 5 times 2 to 2 units. What do you want to do?
Can I just, like, toss out the game?
Yeah, right. Next point, when it comes to what went wrong with Vanguard, is the card market. Now, this hits home to the both of us because, we don't... It's not that we don't like to play meta. It's more so like it's like we like to build decks that we like. It's not because like, oh, they're the best clan or whatever. It's just because no, we like playing them.
Yeah.
So Stride, first things first, which is Stride decks made the game much more expensive, like Yu-Gi-Oh with the extra deck.
But that was inevitable.
Yeah, that was inevitable, and like it was kind of a trade-off. It's kind of like they made the main deck cheaper. But then they made the Stride decks a little bit more expensive, and then you tried playing without a Stride deck, and you're just like,
can I just like go off myself?
Like, can I just kill myself right now? It's like, hey man, it's like, so I drive check 2, I drive check 3. I got that one extra card on you. Another problem. So these next 3 points within card market point is like all coincide together. So I'm gonna say it all together, which is high pricing, community hoarding, lack of reprints. This whole card market trifecta of go screw yourself is horrible. Like, so when a card gets announced, like I'm gonna take for example, Chrono Jet Dragon Z. How expensive do you think that card's gonna be? Excuse me.
Bless you. I don't even know.
But you don't want to think about it because
I don't want to think about it.
You know how bad it's gonna get.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about the new Divine Sky Ultima that I'm gonna have to deal with in terms of the high pricing because it's the last effing set for Royal Paladin Brave that's gonna get. And then Immortal Fetus. So that's high pricing. And then there's also lack of reprints. Like, remember how long we went without a new Blaster Blade? Like, I'm talking about the 9K Blaster Blade, where it's like, you play it, retire, Counterblast 2, and retire. Like, it took until GBT 11 from back to, like, season, like, to, like, pre-G Vanguard to then, from, like, the trial deck era. So we're talking the first set and the trial deck till GBT 11-ish for Blaster Blade to be reprinted. That's a long reprint. Gavriel took a long time to be reprinted. Nightmare Doll Alice! Okay. Before I head to the next point, original prints are hard to find, and then... I mean, eventually Bushiroad realized that, it's a bad idea to make a support support for an old archetype without reprints, but it's still, they don't give enough reprints. It's not like, you know, you'll just reprint this one card and these two cards. Like, no, like if I have no access to the entire deck, I'm not saying reprint the entire flippin' deck, but they're like, I'm gonna need at least like 60-70% of the cards, right?
Yeah, at least the key cards.
Yeah, like really, really key cards. And it's so hard to get them. And it's so, like, and again, original prints are hard to find, which goes to the next point of community hoarders. By the way, the script is right here so that we can, well, script, but our points are right here. Community hoarding. How many times have I told you how much I hated dealing with the community?
Like a lot.
Yes! And that's on top of me hating to deal with people. Like, remember the Nightmare Doll situation? Remember Nightmare Doll Alice?
$2.
Yes. And
80.
Yes. And remember how long it took me to try to, like, okay, remember when I first started getting my Alices? Like, I started it. I said, hey, I'm looking for a Nightmare Doll Alice. Does anyone have anything? What was my response? Okay, remember the first guy I talked to? What was his first response?
$80.
Right.
And you're like,
yeah, no.
Why?
Why? Like, why? And what did he then after I said, like, I'll offer you this, this, and this, what did he say afterwards?
I don't remember after that.
Okay, so basically he said, actually, I think I'm gonna keep on to it. I'm gonna hold on to it just in case.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like, it's because of this hoarding and, like, and hype pricing, and it makes it hard for us to interact with the community. Then it goes into, okay, so we want this one card, we can't get it from the community, and then we go to the internet. But then say this one card that everyone wants, that they can't get from their community, then they go to the internet to try and buy it. So then we got this whole increased demand, low supply, and now we're fighting with not only within our community,
but we're fighting with everybody else in the world.
So it's just like it's ridiculous. Hype pricing, lack of reprints, and community hoarding just makes the card market to Vanguard just utter ridiculous. In Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, like Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is like a $80, $90 card, possibly $100 right now. I think it's still like 80-ish maybe. There's still stock. I'm not saying I'm gonna pay $80 for it, but there's stock. I'm not gonna buy it, but it's there.
It's there.
You know, Nightmare Doll Alice. It wasn't there, and and again, I wasn't gonna pay $80 for it. But then when I tried to get it, it wasn't available. And then, so that's it for the card market points. Next up, and finally, which is Bushiroad. Now, I'm not questioning Bushiroad. I'm not ranting against Bushiroad. I'm not saying they're a bad company. They're a good company. I'm just saying, in terms of myself, in terms of a view of someone that QAs, QCs, and like, kind of balances and does game balancing. I don't do it as a job. It's just I used to do it. Not in terms of QCing games, QCing applications and all that, and like quality checking a lot of my stuff. This is just my opinions in terms of a balance or QCing for Bushiroad as a company, which is, for some reason, Bushiroad will not or cannot take risk for reprints, and I'm not sure if it's because after that announcement that they said they had to, like, reduce their company structure or do something, or, remember when, like, their president said he was stepping down or something like that. Yeah. I don't know what happened, but, something internally which is causing their stock market or their profits to go down, and they can't, they're uncertain if their reprint will sell or not, or maybe they can't afford to lose money or use money or something along those lines, and then it forces us to interact with the community or online community, and which I will never do either. Mm-hmm. And next point when it comes to Bushiroad is their lack of foresight or future sight. Like, remember Cat Butler? Remember when it was first released in BT2?
Yeah.
We thought, what did we think of that card?
Garbage.
Garbage. It was. Why would I retire? Why would I retire this thing and lose a card just to restand my grade 2? I mean, Genocide Jack was a pretty good card for 11K. That was pretty good. Hey man, I love that card. But then got abused 3 years later by Region Lizer. Region Lizer? Riser Legion.
Riser Legion.
Riser Legion. And when they read the cards, it's like, I can restand it too. My Vanguard technically has a grade 2 on it. Can I restand this? Yes. It's a bust ass card. It's a bus ass. It's not bust ass. It's bus ass. Now, again, I don't blame, like, I don't harshly, you know, how should I say this? Harshly scold, or however you say it, you know, Bushiroad. Because, like, can a company predict that far into the future?
Not really.
Yeah. Should they have reconsidered it? Should they have reconsidered what they had in rotation?
Maybe, yes.
Possibly. They have an R&D division. You know, they had an R&D division. You know, they... You know, compare their card pool in comparison to Yu-Gi-Oh, to Magic, to Pokemon, really, even. You know, and, you know, did you know that Pokemon rotates their sets very frequently? Like, Pokemon and Magic, they rotate their sets very frequently.
Oh.
Yeah, no, they just rotate it out, and, like, they set it in the beginning. They're gonna rotate. Like, they set it in the beginning. The expectations that they set for their player base is, we are going to rotate. We are gonna rotate. If your deck gets rotated, well, you've been warned. So, if you're buying into the game, you're also buying into the rotation.
Yeah.
So, which now comes into the third point of the lack of foresight, which is the card rotation. The G regulation should have happened a lot sooner. Or sorry, the card rotation that they introduced in the G format, G regulation, should have happened sooner, because we were all playing BT1 to BT17E, and then all of a sudden Bushiroad's just like, hey, by the way, hey, you guys excited for Stride cards? Yeah! You guys excited for the new generation break? Yeah! You guys ready for excited for G regulation? Yeah! What is it? Do you guys have if you guys have a flag at the bottom right of your card, that's the only cards that you can use. What? Wait, what about my old blasters? Nope.
What about my Jewel Knights?
Nope. What about my old Ezel?
Nope.
Nope. And honestly, but the thing is, honestly, a lot of the card shops didn't really care about the G format.
Yeah.
It was only when you went up to like the worlds or like the regionals or whatever that they cared about the G regulation. Not talking about, what was that one game that they screwed over? Luck and Logic or whatever.
Was that the one that only had up to like maybe 3 sets?
Was it one? Was it Luck and Logic? No, it's the one where like where one of the people that we knew had to bring in their mom to be their 10th player.
Oh, that was...
Yeah, that was Luck and Logic.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk about this one. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, no, that made a lot of people angry when it came to you know, the G regulation. I mean, you and I didn't really care, because like at that point I was kind of retired at that point.
Yeah.
I was kind of retired at that point. Or sorry, I was like, ugh.
You're still in the game, but not too much.
Yeah, I was
kind of there.
Yeah, I was super casual. I'd look over the cards and like, I'm not gonna build anything. And you were just like, I play June Knights. That's all I need to do. And that was pretty cool. That was fine with that. So yeah, they should introduce the card rotation a little bit earlier. Now the final point when it comes to Bushiroad is balancing supports is now a lot more infrequent. So obviously, if you're a main character, you're gonna get support. Is your name Aichi?
No.
Well, there you go. You're not gonna get support. Like in BT 1 through 5, it was all Royal Paladin. Like every set had to have a Royal Paladin. 6 through 9 always had a gold Paladin. And then 6 through 9, which was season 2, and then 10 through 17. No. 10 through 14. No, 10 through 15 had to have gold Paladin again, but it wasn't the lion themed gold Paladins. It was the Royal Paladin gold Paladins. Because remember when Alfred became a gold Paladin? Yeah, that was.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Remember when Blaster Blade became
Liberator?
Blaster Blade Liberator or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so stupid. I was like, oh, wasn't Davin a little bit angry about that?
I don't know.
I forget. I'll have to ask his reactions. Like, I have to ask him what he feels. But yeah, no, there's like, so unless you're a main character, your support or your clan is gonna be delayed or sometimes forgotten. Like, remember how long it took Shirayuki to get a support?
Pretty long.
Yeah, it was like with like those special edition or whatever, like you know, the one like, oh, you get a double R in every pack or whatever.
Yeah.
That one, right? Or where's your Jewel Knight support, huh? Where's your
Long
Jewel?
gone.
Yeah, long gone.
Long gone.
Where's your heal?
There is no savior.
Yeah. What? Okay. So if Revenger's got an LTG heal, by the way, if you're wondering what I mean by LTG heal, there's the regular heals which does nothing. There's the G heals which you pay it for a certain G G guard, and then it activates the condition. And then the final one, which is LTG heals, which is if there's a copy of itself in the drop zone, remove the one you remove 2, and then you countercharge or soul charge. Revengers got an LTG heal. Why did Jewel Knights not get an LTG heal?
Because we put the one in the stick, man.
Yeah, right? So, you're either sometimes delayed, and at worst, you're forgotten. Like, I feel so bad for Jewel Knights right now, because that heal should have been yours. It should have been yours. I mean, don't get me wrong. The heal for the heal for Royal Paladin, it looks nice. It looks like, actually, no, I kind of want to get one of each heal. So here's the heal for Revengers. Looks nice, right? Looks really nice. Here's a heal for Royal Paladin. Looks really nice. That should have been a Jewel Knight in its name. It was like, I feel so bad, and like you have people that just what happened? Like what happened? And then by the way, Liberators got their G heal.
Are you serious?
Yes, Liberators got a G heal. Like I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. They got a G heal.
Oh my god.
So I feel so bad for you guys. And then next is the ban list. Now, as you know, I don't stand on either side of a ban list. I'm both. I have a positive. I have a point for both with, and I have a point for without. Mm-hmm. Now, before I get to that point, when it comes to the ban list for Bushiroad, it feels more like a forced, if we don't do something, people are going to hate this game or they're going to stop playing this game. It doesn't feel like a true way to energize or change up the meta. Or like, hey, you might want to play this. No, it's more so, people hate 7Cs, or they don't want Barkville being a starter. I guess we should ban it. Now, I am for a ban list if it is under the condition of, hey, I see you guys are playing a lot of this, and like it's been like this for the past 7 formats, or like 7, like for the past like 8 months or whatever.
Isn't that what they did with Majesty Lord Blaster when it first came out?
Yeah, they
kind of like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, let's regulate it a little bit. Just. The thing is, unfortunately, because of Vanguard's small card pool, there's not much different forms that you can play. Mm-hmm. But like, really, again, I'm for a ban list if it's for a re-energizing a meta. Be like, okay, everyone's playing, what was it? Goat Control. Do you know that Yu-Gi-Oh deck?
Nope.
Okay, so basically where people were just playing Relinquished Scapegoat, and they're just like, it was just a chess battle.
Oh, okay.
And no one was playing anything else. But like at that point, you want to ban certain cards just to reintroduce ingenuity into the game. Mm-hmm. Now, I am against a ban list because you shouldn't ban cards, because that kind of be like, that just says, oh no, we did something wrong. What we should do, or what you should do, is actually one step further than a ban list, is errata. So, when it comes to the 7Cs, remember how stupid 7Cs was? Did you ever play against a 7Cs deck?
Played a couple.
Yeah, and you felt it was kind of unfair, right?
Yeah.
It's like they kept on rushing you at that grade 2. So, instead of having when a 7Cs Vanguard, when your Vanguard with 7Cs in its name attacks, do this, it should have been when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with 7Cs in its card name attacks.
Yeah.
That would have been fine, because at that point you're just like, okay, at least you're both at the same point, and you're like, they're not forcing you to be like, because if you're both at grade 3, you can counteract that 7Cs rush, because you're gaining your advantage through stride. If they choose not to stride, okay, fine, that's on them. Mm-hmm. If they don't want to do it, that's fine. But that's where I am with or against a ban list, where it's just like either with or against. I'm for it if it is just to energize meta. I'm against it because I think erratas are better.
Just kind of treats the old version as like maybe a possible misprint. Yes.
Exactly. Like, you don't need to ban the card. If you just like, banning the card just says, oh no, we effed up. But if you just say, but if you errata it, you just say, okay, we we understand that this card is powerful, so we're gonna try to balance it ourselves to make it match the game. You know, that's, you know, it's better, you know, like, banning it says we're getting rid of it and we're not going to deal with it anymore. Errata says we acknowledge that we screwed up and we didn't read things through, and we're gonna change it to fit it. And then finally, which is for Bushiroad, is R&D. And R&D stands for research and development. And I honestly think that Bushiroad should honestly do more R&D. Like, when it comes to support, like, remember how long it took for, like, Royal Paladins to get their Limit Break Enabler, or, like, every other clan to get their Limit Break Enabler?
Took a while.
Yeah. Like, I don't like it when Bushiroad plays catch-up. You know, when one clan has a Limit Break Enabler, and it's just like, this clan is just like, oh, I guess this clan doesn't have a Limit Break Enabler. Let's just give it to them. No. Don't just play catch-up. Don't just be like, oh, this clan has an AK vanilla, that one doesn't. Give them an AK vanilla, and then just be done. That's their support. No. Actually, give them support and give them more to match that set. Oh, sorry, we forgot about you with this. Now we're also going to give you support with this as well to help you, you know, play with the different decks. Again, coming back to Shirayuki. Shirayuki could not do anything. She couldn't do anything. What could she do?
Jack shit.
Yes! And, like, yeah, she eventually got her support, but she had to deal with, like what, 5, 10? Well, no, okay, I'm saying this as an extreme example. Like, 2 or 3 sets where, like, there were actually 3 or 4.
It was a while.
Yeah, 3 or 4 sets where she couldn't do anything. And, you know, the R&D shouldn't just be, oh, I don't think they have this. No, it's, oh, they're missing this, but also give them this on top. And finally, this is more so my opinion, and myself and Davin kind of like talked about this a little bit, but side decking. Would you want a side deck in Vanguard?
For me personally, not.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just really casual about it though.
Okay. I wouldn't mind having a side deck, but then at that point it's kind of like Vanguard doesn't have really what you call tech cards. There's no like Mirror Force or Effect Veiler or whatever that you can add into a deck. It's just like, well, you can only play this clan with this clan, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Again, coming back to the whole counter, you know, there is no counter cards or counter key cards or whatever. So, before we go on into the summary of Cardfight Vanguard, the 3 points that I want to mention or reiterate of where did Vanguard go wrong, which is, first of all, the gameplay. You know, it became too consistent, unbalanced. Card advantage helps out, but really it means nothing in the end. There's a lack of balance. The card market is horrible to deal with. Bushiroad really needs to have a little bit more insight and foresight and understand that, you know, have a little bit more depth into what they're doing. And so, where did it go wrong? Really, now this is your opinion. You think that it went wrong at the beginning of the Stride era.
Yeah.
You know, where you Stride 1, where you do your first Stride with what was it, Gablade. You did this! This is you!
Yeah.
You did this! This is not someone doing this to you. You did this to someone. You strode your Gablade, and you ripped 3 crit triggers.
Oh no, that wasn't Gablade. That was with Evangeline.
Evangeline?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's stupid. Okay, so with Evangeline, you ripped 3 triggers.
Yeah.
3 crits! And you killed... Who did you kill?
I call him Sky Williams.
Oh my god.
He was playing Bermuda deck.
Yeah, and
so the story was I got to Stride first.
yeah.
I just ripped through him with like 3 crits.
Yeah,
he
you
was
just
done.
ripped through it and you instantly killed him.
I killed him.
Yeah, and he was not happy.
He wasn't happy.
He was not happy, and you were okay with it, but you did not feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, you don't feel good about it.
I low key feel good. I like critting.
Yeah, right.
I'm a dirty player.
Yeah. Now, you also say that another point where Vanguard went wrong was when, at the end of G Crisis, when G Guards were announced. When they gave, like, was it, everyone 15k, like, unconditioned, well, easy condition 15, minimum 15k shields, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, like, you didn't mind, like, the regular G Guards, which is just like, protect myself, but like the ones that affected your field, you just felt like it's like,
Yeah, because like, okay, I have G guards that can protect myself, but I can't do anything to your field. But they have G guards that can affect my field and protect themselves. So it's like, shit, I can't do anything, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that choice.
yeah. In regards to myself, I honestly believe that it was during the limit break, limit LB2 phase of Vanguard was where I thought it broke. I thought it happened a lot faster and sooner. Now you're probably wondering what is LB2. So sets 1 through 5 is regular Vanguard. Sets 6 through 9 is LB1. That was just regular limit break. Sets 10 through 15 is the LB2, which is limit break 2, which is where they introduced brake rides, which is actually, you saw how salty I got with brake rides.
Yeah.
Remember when I was playing whatever the Nova Grappler brake ride where you stand in your front row?
Yeah.
And like I lost against a gold paladin player.
Yeah.
And he didn't even brake ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty salty that day. Yeah, so on like despite the bias I have towards the formats before G era, Bushi did try to like amend their formats. Like Limit Break 1 did nothing. Like it honestly did nothing. People were still playing Draconic Overlord at the end, Majesty Blaster, and Phantom Blaster Overlord. I was that guy. People stuck to OG decks. OG decks were dominating even during Limit Break Phase 1. Remember when Tsukuyomi, when I was playing Tsukuyomi and I could still beat Limit Break decks?
Yeah. And
then they introduced Limit Break 2, which became Break Ride Sack, and remember like how much I hated I didn't mind Break Ride, but I really did hate break rides.
Yeah.
They sucked.
I don't know. For me, it was kind of normal because I joined around like Binding Forces.
Yeah, you joined at that point, so you were
So,
okay with it.
Yeah.
And then Bushiroad realized, like, oh no, Limit Break Phase 2, Limit Break 2 was a little bit too powerful, and they introduced Legion format. Legion format, I really liked Legion format because you could set the pace. It was between you and the opponent to set the pace. And I was like, yeah, it still had the break ride in it, but still, it's kind of like it didn't take games.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly thought that it broke at that point. There were always cracks on the pavements, but of the game before G era, but they always tried to amend them. But now in the G era, like the cracks in the pavement became like full on, like very apparent. So. Going forward from GBT 14 onwards, I honestly don't know what Vanguard will do, what Bushiroad will do with Vanguard. Like, what's the next thing after Stride? I don't know. What's,
Level 5.
a natural ride to grade 4? Sure, why not? But, we'll see. Like, honestly, I don't know. Like, we'll have to see. So, with that said, those are our opinions. Do you have anything else to say, before we wrap up?
No, that's about it.
Yeah, do you, any other opinions of Vanguard, current state, and all that?
Nope.
Okay. So with that said, that's it for this Let's Talk of what went wrong with Vanguard. Honestly, I don't hate Vanguard. I still do like Vanguard. I still do like playing it. Am I gonna play it competitively? No. I honestly just like playing casually with just my friends. This guy. A couple of others, and I don't. Do you feel the need to go to play locals ever again?
I kind of miss locals, but like at this point in time, like I don't really enjoy going back.
Yeah. Honestly,
just what the things are.
Yeah, honestly, I could run a locals here. Like honestly, I could just be like, I need like 10 players, and let's just do a random locals.
Just Friday night locals.
Yeah, Friday night locals. Just run to my basement. Just run in the basement, and then they were good to go.
Underground Vanguard.
Yeah, Underguard. Underguard. Vanground.
Vanground.
So that's it for this Let's Talk. Where did Vanguard go wrong? My name is Storm King, otherwise known as SK, and this is my friend of SK. And we will see you in the next video. So, if you like this video, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. And, yeah, tell us your opinions. And I'd love to hear your opinions of Vanguard and your standing and, your hopes of what you like to see or, just the current state itself. So, yeah. With that said, we'll see you in the next video.
West side.
Okay, sure.